All right, hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. This channel is for educational purposes, and we check into great theories and concepts and discoveries that you're probably not familiar with because they've been suppressed. And these are things that the powers that be don't want you to know because of their potential to help you in your quest for better spiritual, mental, and physical health. And this is a segment that we have called the Q-tip of the spear, where I cover the podcasters on the cutting edge of the info war and um, talk about various things that they've said over the last day or so. And I've been harping on the fact that I believe that the info war is over and that the good guys won and the deep state globalist communists have been defeated and they're going to be punished and it's all going to happen, but it's going to be strung out over a long period of time and it has to be kind of reenacted in front of the public to get them on board to what's actually happening. And it's going to take a long period of drawn out, really bad um, reenactments, increasingly absurd and poorly executed and poorly conceived on purpose, um, because they have to be shocking to the viewer in order to wake the viewer up. And so the patriots who are, on the cutting edge and who have figured this out, uh, what's actually happening, and that there is an info war and that it's being fought over your mind every day and has been going on for 10 plus years, for the whole Trump era, and you know all of all of the Q stuff and all that. um, so the people who figure that out, um, really it would behoove you to withdraw from this point because you can see the writing on the wall. You can see that your side is going to win this level of the battle, and that the deep state, uh, the ones that at least are in it, that we see are going to go down, and you can sit and watch it happen with your popcorn, but your time is much better spent getting ready for the next phase. And the way I see it, the next phase is the implementation phase of your agenda. You have to, when you win, that means that you get to dictate the agenda. Before that, they dictated the agenda and they set up this kind of very toxic kind of superstructure, infrastructure of the world about how everything worked that worked, against the average person 99 times out of 100 or whatever. Um, so, what is um, you know, the worldview, the uh, structure that you're going to implement when given a chance? And that is where the problems start coming in because you're not ready to make those decisions. And even if you are, you're going to make the wrong decisions because you haven't investigated your particular worldview. to see whether it stands, whether it's seaworthy or whether it holds water. And it doesn't. It's just like everything else. Um, it's a psyop. It's a hoax. It's a false flag. It's a spectacle. It's amplified. It's not. It's not going to um, be the answer. In fact, it's going to be. It's infested with the deep state ideology still. It just is, it's just a deeper state. It's deeper, deeper, deeper into history, uh, further and further back into history. And I think that as a movement, you guys have naively accepted that, oh, well, if it was this old, then it must be okay. Or maybe you've just been lazy and didn't want to really get into the history because it's pretty complicated. There's a lot of different foreign ancient languages involved, and you're going back into a time period where you don't really understand what the criteria are. And it's just a lot of digging for not maybe not very much payoff. There's a huge backlog of stuff that you kind of have to learn before you can even start to make any progress. Um, and then obviously the language barrier. So instead of kind of admitting this and you know recognizing that this is a weakness, you've just kind of brushed over it, like it pretended that it didn't exist. And but now's the reckoning, or not now, because like I said, it's going to take a while for these events to play out. I don't know whether that's going to be weeks or months or years, but it's inevitable, but it's going to take a while. It could happen in the next 2 months, but it could take 2 3 years. I don't know. But whatever the amount of time is, this is your perfect opportunity to withdraw from the info war, to whatever extent that you feel comfortable, and get yourself red pilled some more. Really go into examining the assumptions that you've made about how things are. Where did you get these assumptions from? Did you inherit them from your family, your culture, your school, your priest, your pastor, your books, your heroes, your rituals, your holidays? Where did they come from? And do they stand up to truth? I mean, are they a psyop? Because I know that you are experienced in finding psyops and digging on them, and showing their significance, and really just merely acknowledging that they even exist, because most people just go into the conspiracy theory you know uh, uh, dismissal. But you all have persevered and stuck to your guns and done the proper digging in the 20th and 21st centuries, but not going back far enough. And so you've accepted hook, line, and sinker a lot of the older programming, which is just as infected with the deep state, but it's just a deeper state. It's like the second level of the matrix or something. And so we got to dig our way out of that too. And the commander in chief is sitting here waiting for you to do that. They know, Q knows, that Christianity is a psychological operation, that much of Western civilization is a psychological operation. That many of your heroes um, were part of false flags and psychological operations, and that there really isn't that much to cling on. I think, really what you have is what a lot of the people who founded this country uh, went with, which was deism. Deism is the belief in one God who is good, who has given the humans the ability to, through our higher faculties, reason and intuition and empathy and uh, conscience and aesthetics, to be able to uh, behold God's creation, nature, and the heavens, and to be able to behold and understand God directly through our own faculties without any intermediaries, no priests, pastors, popes, or anyone with a pulpit, and no books, no testaments, Qurans, Gitas, or anything, but directly. And that's the fifth generation, 5D consciousness, 5D consciousness. And that is the golden age, and that is the age of Aquarius, is our ability to be independent of the experts in religion and spirituality, and to be able to determine these things for ourselves. And that is carries with it a responsibility. And it's time for us to take that responsibility. So that's my 2 cents for that. Like, share, subscribe, comment, contribute, and share with your favorite patriot, um, and or uh, you know other people too. Um, and come back tomorrow for another episode of the Q-Tip of the Spear. Thanks for tuning in today. Have a great day.